Good hello and evening to all of you. Hi, happy people of the internet. Welcome to another Let's Listen. I am joined here by none other than Xoc. How's it
Hey,
going?
how you doing?
Doing pretty good. I got to say, you have made a massive offering here. This is an incredible album, actually. Like you've got lots of great tracks, lots of deep cuts. You've got a wide array of instruments, which we are totally going to be digging into later on. But yeah, first off, I just wanted to ask you what inspired you to create Zoc Like an Egyptian.
I mean, it started so long ago. It was like 13 years ago that this album started. It was a a duo. It was going to be me and Damian Sol, who will be joining us in a little bit. We were going to make an album, uh, but why the Egyptian? I think just because so many games have like a generic, you know, is it Egypt? Is it just a desert? And the music is uh, like nondescript, foreign sounding.
A lot
It
of
uses,
Phrygian.
yeah, it uses a lot of, there's something a little bit, uh, let's see, alien about it, I guess. I don't know. I mean, as opposed to the usual, C major, up and down, happy-go-lucky stuff. So
Yeah.
I just noticed that I kind of like that music a lot. And has anybody done an album like this before? I don't know. And I'm so glad that nobody did in the 13 years it took to finish. Um, but yeah, I thought it was something everybody needed.
Wow. Yeah, and to imagine that it took that long. So starting off in the, and I hate this term, but what do they call it? The aughts, the
Ah,
the end of the 2000s there. Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God. Yeah. Well, you said you had a longtime collaborator, that the album was kind of like the a product of the idea that you two shared. So like, how did like where did that chemistry kick off?
That started, I've known Damien since high school, which for me would have been 1992, I believe, 91, 92. So we've known each other a very long time.
Mm.
And some other guys that I'm still friends with, in bands with, from that same time. Glenn Newport plays bass on one of the tracks. Um, he's also somebody I met at exactly at the same time I met Damien, actually, but um, we've just known each other and been in bands for so long. We're so used to kind of non-verbally, like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, do that. Okay. Nah, man. So, um, yeah, so it seemed natural, and um, Damien had moved from Sacramento, which is where I am, up to Tahoe City, into a cabin, and was starting to build a studio there. And so it was, we started out with a week of just let's lock ourselves in the cabin and record basic tracks. We take turns on the drums and get all that stuff done. And then from there, that's how it started. So,
Wow. Wow, wow. So at that early stage then, what did this album look like? Like did you have the same number of tracks? Like were they scratch tracks, or is some of that tracking still carried forward to what we're going to listen to today?
I believe all of the stuff we started with is on there, except for like maybe one or two tracks where I was mistaken, and it wasn't the Egypt level. It was another like level, somewhere else. But it sounded Egyptian,
Right.
So, but yeah, all those tracks are still there. All the basic drum tracks are in there. I have just gone and added a lot of stuff in the intervening years. So, yeah, it's grown quite a bit. I think we started out with maybe 8, 10 tracks or something like that. But yeah, everything's still there. It's just got a lot more company.
Right on. What tracks did you record at that early stage, like yourself?
Just myself.
Yeah, just yourself.
Let's see. Well, I got the basic tracks down, and I don't think I added anything until years later, because years would go by
Mm-hmm.
and it would just kind of fall by the wayside or the back burner or one of those cliches. And then I get the thought, like, God, I got to finish this album, man, and I get Damian to help out. And then it just got to be like, we don't have the time for this because we were doing other stuff. We were in multiple bands. But there were periods, where I'd work really hard on it and just keep adding more and more stuff, adding more and more songs. And then, I don't know, it's got to be, and it gets to a point where it's been so long, it's like, so along the way you go like, oh, this isn't even funny. It's been like so long. It's been like 6 years. Oh, it's been like, and then it gets funny again, because it's been so long. So that was kind of this last push, was to get it finally done, like
Wow.
before it started to be not funny anymore. So.
Oh my gosh.
I
Definitely.
forgot the question. What was it?
Oh, I was asking what instruments you like. I guess I was trying to ask what instruments you played on the album, or at least in those early stages. What you personally had played and recorded.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, the basic tracks in the beginning were just drums. We start with that, and that took us, a week to get all that down.
Mm-hmm.
And then since then, I added bass, guitars, an electric piano. I have a Wurlitzer. It's actually in Damian's studio right now.
Wow.
And accordion. I'm looking at a list actually right now, so I can kind of keep going.
Oh my God.
There are some game calls on here too. They're the the little honking hooter that hunters use.
Oh, yeah, you're mentioning some hunting game calls. Oh my God. Not to be confused with video game calls, which
right, yeah. It's not a hunting video game.
No.
People actually use these, but
that's another album coming down the
pipeline. Taking it back, taking it from the hunters, applying it to the arts.
Awesome. Well, we'll have to listen for those for sure. Oh man. Speaking of which, we've got quite a massive track listing to get through here. 23 tracks on this album. That's not to say that they're all like super long or anything like that, but nevertheless, are you ready to dig in?
Let's do it.
All right, folks. We've got these all broken up into a good number of songs here. So we're going to listen to the first 3 in a row. And sorry, I just misplaced my tracking list here. So let me make sure I'm giving you a proper introduction here. So we are going to be listening to the map theme from Power Slave, the Egyptian tribe theme from Lemmings 2, and the Nile River theme from a game called Tubin. And I have no idea what that is, but I am definitely going to ask about that later on.
Classic.
Right on, folks. All right, well, let's listen. All right, folks. That was the first 3 tracks off of Xoc Like an Egyptian. Give it up in chat. That was amazing. Good fun. Lots of good bops. Hard to tell those tracks by the age. So yeah, that was that was really cool. And we are now joined by aforementioned Damian. Hi, Damian.
How's it
Hey,
going? Good to be here.
welcome.
Good. Right on. So, yeah, this is essentially both of your brainchild. Yeah, Damien, do you want to talk a little about those early days of laying down those tracks and coming up with the concept for this album?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think that even from my early days playing classical violin, I had always loved the, for lack of a better word, the Eastern sounding scales, outside of the major minor hegemony.
Mm-hmm.
And when Jason actually came to me with the idea, hey, we should do an Egypt level themed album, I was all in. I've been, playing these games and playing them with Jason for a long time. And so always enjoyed the kind of fake Egyptian, you can throw a couple pyramids and you snakes in baskets and you got an Egypt level. And sometimes that's the most realistic that you'll get.
Authentic. Yeah.
Oh my God. Definitely. Well, I'm curious to hear a little bit more about your nerd cred, because like I said, there were some pretty deep cuts in terms of like the games that you're drawing themes from. Yeah, and somebody I guess in chat I believe was saying like there's a game called Power Slave. What the heck is Power Slave?
That is a game. It was on a lot of different platforms. It was on PC, and I think the way that I titled this was off of the oh God, what is it? Is PlayStation slash what was the other version? People in chat might know, but it was also a PC. It was a kind of like a Doom alike.
Okay.
Came after Doom, used the Doom engine, I believe, but it was very Egyptian themed with, that's literally where it was set, in the Karnak Valley or something. And the music to it is just great. And I hadn't heard it or even heard of this game before, like a year ago. I discovered Civi 11 on YouTube. Did a great piece just comparing all the different versions of it, and I recommend that. But yeah, it was hard to pick which one to do, but I thought this one would open things up, pretty good. And it's got a lot of changes, time signature changes, feels, and there's a whole long quiet intro part that I cut, and you'll probably hear that sometime in the future, but it just didn't get right to it enough, so this is the the short version. But yeah, Power Slave.
Do we think that they named it after the Iron Maiden album is the question.
I absolutely
Yeah.
Yes, there's no question. And speaking of the Iron Maiden album,
Right.
yeah, that people mentioned, oh, great cover art concept. I'm like, well, yeah. It is.
Oh,
It's
man.
a parody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my favorite Iron Maiden album from way back.
Oh, it's Born of Love. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We imitate what we love.
Oh man, there's so much to explore and digest in this cover. I love it.
Sega Saturn. Yep. Wieners, right? It was on Sega Saturn.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. People in chat know.
Speaking of the album art, I gotta take that natural segue to ask about the art. I mean, who did the album art for you?
There's somebody named Mai, Mai. I think she goes by Mai Z, and let me find her Twitter handle. I think it's just my. Oh man, I should
Oh,
have.
sorry, Wienertron. I will temporarily mod you so that you can just drop all the links in chat.
There we go.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Wiener knows. Mai Zhang.
there you go.
Made
Try
it.
that again.
And-
Sorry, URLs are turned off for casual viewers, just to avoid spam. But you're a little bit more than casual, Wienertron. You're a pretty hardworking member of the team here.
Oh yes.
Absolutely.
So there you go. Just try-
Wienertron is the other half of Trash Can Eagle right now. So it's
Wienertron makes it happen.
yeah. I started it, and she makes sure it actually gets done.
right on, Wienertron.
So
Sweet.
what is the let's see, Myzilla, yeah,
Oh, Mozilla, right
on Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, and I knew her from the Shiz. The
Shiz.
And the art, the cover art she did for Kirby's Dream Band, Bad Outta Hal.
Oh my God. Yes.
It's a Meatloaf parody.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I know exactly who can do this art. This is perfect. And she did such a good job. It's really just full of all kinds of little things that you got to look at the large version to see.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me see if I can get that up on stream here. I'll just zoom in. Oh, rearranging the wrong thing here. Oh, again. Oh man. I don't know. Let's see. There we go.
Yeah, I played one of these tracks for a producers meetup that I go to every week, and they were way into it. They had no idea who Iron Maiden was. The video game references.
Oh man,
went over very well.
Too young.
Oh man, you got Adventure Island up, skateboarding up top there. I love it.
Yeah, Master Higgins.
Oh my God, are those what is it, Jimmy and Bimmy on the other side there from Double Dragon?
Oh yes, yeah. Double Dragon and all the little lemmings down there.
Yeah, carrying the sarcophagus with Scrooge McDuck on there. Is that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Because DuckTales is coming up.
Yeah. Oh, right on. Oh, that's so
Bubsy, Asterix.
Asterix. Oh man, I was a hardcore Asterix reader in my childhood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. There was like so many other Asterix things I wanted to do.
Wienertron is asking what the car is from. Little Volkswagen.
That is from it's a Volkswagen, but they had to give it a different name in the game, so it's called a Scarab. And that and the original artwork is where there's a big scarab on the ground. It worked so perfectly. It's from the track, I don't know which one it is, but Cruisin' World.
Okay.
And I believe the song we did is only in the N64 version of that. But yeah, that's what they call the bug in the game. It's a scarab. Yeah.
The legally distinct from the love bug. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just distinct enough.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, that's great. Well, we're going to have a lot more opportunities to chat. So you guys ready to dig into our next little chunk here?
Yeah, this next Double Dragon 3 has Damian on violin in the lead. And let's see, what else? Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll be listening to Egypt 5 BC from Battle Load Runner. It's on the TurboGrafx 16. I haven't played a lot of these games, so I'm just gonna sound like an idiot saying these
things. 8 Eyes.
8 Eyes on NES. Like, wow. And Mario Party 7. Hey, I know Mario Party.
Okay.
Right on. Yeah, so we're going to listen to those 4 songs in a row, and we'll be right back after we do. Let's listen. All right.
Uh,
That
yeah.
is another awesome leg on this incredible Egyptian journey that you're taking us on, Zoc. Yeah, I've said in chat foolishly, totally, ahead of any knowledge that you were using some choice sound fonts, and you corrected me very quickly to let me know that there was no MIDI involved in any of this, no synthesis. Essentially, you were lifting some really incredible and unique sounds there. Do you want to talk a little bit
Oh,
about how you did that?
yeah. I mean, there was synthesis, but if it was me playing a synthesizer live.
Yeah.
Um, I think most of the things you were referring to are just guitars and other instruments through effects pedals. I have like a huge collection that's actually on the shelves right behind the camera. Um, and I got a lot of stuff from Idiot Box Effects, if you've heard of them. No, they, or he, it's really one guy, started putting out mystery pedals where you don't know what it does, but you order it and you get it, and then you find out, And there's since been, let's see, the first 7 I have, they all have some kind of question mark, but they do the weirdest things, and they're just, there's nothing else like it. Yeah, I'm stuff that you probably wouldn't put on a pedal board for like a working musician, because it's like the one trick pony to end all one trick ponies. But yeah,
Like turning every note into a fart. Do you have that one?
I don't have the fart pedal yet. No, I've seen it and I reached for my wallet, but no, don't have it yet. I think I could simulate something like that, but the batteries in my fart quincer are dead,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
you gotta rep the Dr. Fart.
Yeah,
That's love.
somebody on Etsy. It's making noise. You hear it? It's very quiet.
Oh
It
yeah.
sequences fart noises.
And you can output it through a cable, right? You don't have to use a speaker.
Yeah, and when I tried that, it went crazy, so I can't
Oh, man.
do it. But it's but yeah, I think a lot of that is just piling up all these weird guitar pedals and playing little single notes. This is the newest one I just got, the laser phaser.
Nice.
It's usually Han Solo, but he did a few that were Star Trek. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I love that you managed to take those one-trick ponies and line them up into a beautiful little parade there for us. Oh man! And I also have to say, Damian, excellent work on your lead violin there on the first track we heard, that Double Dragon.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Was that also recorded 13 years ago?
I think we did the violin tracking many years later, actually. I since moved to Oakland, and yeah, I think we did that in my studio in Oakland.
Yeah, I think a lot. Yeah, if it was drums, it was done back then,
Right.
and there's very little drums have been added to this. It's but the violin, yeah, I think.
And I think as far as the drums, correct me if I'm wrong, but were we just memorizing the drum parts and playing the drum parts by themselves? No, I guess we played along with the 8-bit.
Yeah, we had the actual original tracks set up with a really loud click that
right, yes.
For a very long time, that's the only reference track I had for each song. So I recorded a lot of this stuff listening to and yeah, it
monstrous.
drove me nuts. But
Oh my God.
but yeah, I think that's, we did quite a few takes of the drums, but they're
Mhm.
It takes a little getting used to having a super harsh noise wave metronome and playing like a subtle jazz style drum feeling.
yeah.
And
That's
also
true.
not having the super loud metronome coming through the microphones that we're recording the drums with.
Yeah, you want to take it off, but then it goes into the mics, and yeah. I'm sure you can hear it in there somewhere in a quiet section, but
that's a little Easter egg for you.
Right on. Yeah, that's not a bug. That's a feature.
That's right. Yeah,
that's for the real fans. Yeah.
An original noise wave track from the emulator, whatever emulator you were using at the time.
No, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I guess I was curious to know a little bit more about the arrangement process as well, especially considering I'm not familiar with a lot of these songs. Like, did you take a lot of liberties with how you arranged these tracks at all?
Some of them are pretty faithful, or they lent themselves to just a style that made sense. Like the Strider, the first of the two Strider tracks has Damian on drums, Glenn Newport on bass, Jacob Gleason of Drunken Kung Fu. Is that his band?
Yeah, I think that's the current band, Drunken Kung Fu.
Yeah. On saxophones, and I play accordion, and it just, the actual original track has like this feel that reminded me of John Zorn Masada, if you know. It's like a jazz group that it just sounds like a jazz solo in the game, and so there's a part where I did that just straight up, but then the rest of it's just solos because it felt like jazz already, and but yeah, there's some that are a lot faster than the originals, and I'd forgotten how fast until I went back and listened. But the Lemmings is definitely not as crazy in the game.
Right. Yeah.
But you need that every once in a while.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to mix it up. Cool. Well, we've got another bunch of songs in a row, all ready to go here. You guys ready to dig in?
Oh yeah,
let's do it.
Right on. Well, we are going to be listening to the Sandopolis Zone Act 1 from Sonic and Knuckles, King of Denial from Bubsy 2. Bubsy 2's track titles are just all kinds of pun grownness. And then we're going to be hearing the Egyptian Pyramid theme from DuckTales 2. So without any further ado, let's listen. Wow. Yeah. More of that. My goodness. And I got to give you credit where credit is due. Of course, when people think of the DuckTales 2 soundtrack, I mean, there's the overplayed favorite. But it's nice to hear some of the other songs from that soundtrack. To know that they exist, even it's really wonderful. Oh my god. So what were we saying backstage? Damian, you played violin and drums on that latest, on that last track that we were listening to.
I did.
Right on. Did you record? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, it's pretty great actually. I came in, I laid down some drums. Jason went away and did some stuff. And then I put the violin on, and then he did so much more stuff. So a lot of these tracks, I'm just hearing them for the first time in all their glory. And it sounds incredible, man. Did such a good job.
It's what Wienertron calls maximalism.
Oh yeah.
Or that's what she labels it as. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, definitely. You were also showing off some more of your exotic instruments, Xoc.
Oh yes. Yeah, I think was on the Bubsy track was a ratchet.
Mm-hmm.
One of these.
Oh man.
I mean, it serves a purpose,
It sounds like a rattlesnake. It evokes the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of those.
Oh, yeah. You made that sound, and now I have to try and crack my neck. That's my instinct.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What else was on? Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, I think speaking of synthesis, the Korg MS-2000B did a lot of heavy lifting, right? A lot of the synth parts that we hear, maybe all the synth parts that we hear.
Not all, but most. Yeah, that was especially when you hear some of the built-in sounds, like whatever sound comes up when you turn it on. I think I've used that tone.
Just like with an init patch or
right, yeah, like the very first default.
Yeah, you wrote that thing for a long time, and I didn't realize quite how much you were doing with it.
Oh, the vocoder
function.
I mean, I did some of that, and what else?
You were showing off that $600 or $700 pedal that you have now.
Yeah, they were like $100 when they came out, and now because it's Miku. Somebody in chat tell me what the last name is. The virtual Japanese pop star Miku something. I don't remember, but yeah, it's a guitar pedal that makes your guitar sound like her doing phrases, or you can set it to just nang, or random words. Hatsune Miku. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Wayner. Yeah, and I think just because of that association, these things have gone up in value, but I can't get rid of it because if you hear anything in there that sounds like a sped up voice, just that's probably what it is.
Oh man.
But
well, we will definitely make sure that you are justified in keeping that by pushing your album on. You've got the pre-order there available on Bandcamp. So folks, go and raise another $600 or $700 for Xoc on this album, so that he decides to keep that pedal indefinitely. Definitely go and check that out. And we did drop a link earlier because there were talk of buttons as well, some Xoc buttons. You've got lots of really great designs on here, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's some choice merchandising you've got there. And I have to say as well, this Bandcamp doesn't just represent you, correct? You've got
Mhm.
albums from, or no. This is a lot of, yeah, it is mostly Xoc, but you've got like some other projects on here as well.
Yeah, the Zoc stuff is at the top because that's the only thing people buy. But all the other stuff is, yeah, it's there's only actually there's only one project that doesn't. Oh no, I'm on that too. Never mind. I'm on all of those.
Wow.
Another Sacramento legend, Bob Barango, has an album on there where he had come in a long time ago to record songs acoustically, and they were, just him and his voice. And I ended up taking them and making them into something way more like Zoc stuff.
Maximalist.
So yeah, it's yeah. So it's worth checking out. And yeah, all the other projects. Not all of it's for everybody, but yeah.
Right on. Well, you can head on over there and grab Xoc Like an Egyptian on pre-order right now. That is set to drop tomorrow. We do have a question in chat from William the Bard asking if there are going to be any physical releases.
I hope so at some point. I I know we were in talks to do a vinyl release of SMW, and it didn't happen. But I'm not sure why. But I mean, yeah, I would love to have stuff out. Like, I mean, I guess. Oh, it was licensing. Yeah, it was the
makes
problem
sense.
with licensing, and it would have kind of stripped the album down. Yeah, they couldn't do it legally.
Nah.
Why didn't we do it illegally? I don't
Print your
know.
own vinyls. Yeah, the vinyl underground. Yeah.
It's yeah, but yeah, I'd love to put this out as a, some extras and stuff. Oh, speaking of, I wanted to drop this in real quick. Is a let me see. I'll just drop this in the chat here.
Oh, hold on. If it's a link, just let me make sure that I got you with permissions. Hold on a sec.
It is.
I gotta do that over here. Hold on.
It's a track that just kind of came about during these sessions, and it doesn't fit, but I wanted to see if anybody wanted to check it out in chat. So today,
yeah, 8-bit Bangles from what? Sorry, what game is this from?
Not a game.
Oh,
just something that happened. It's okay. It's Walk Like an Egyptian 8-bit, but
okay.
Nice. I happened to throw that together while I was working on other stuff, but
okay.
So a little freebie.
Right on. I'm not seeing access to it immediately, but I don't know what the permissions are like on their website there.
I think if you try to play it in browser, it doesn't work. You have to save it.
Gotcha.
I think.
Then I will try that out, and maybe I'll queue it up for listening at the end here.
Sure.
Just to make sure everybody gets a little taste. All right. Well, speaking of tastes, I'm tasting a little bit more music coming up here. Why don't we head on into the next block? We've got coming up. Oh, okay. This is an obscure game that I actually played, the Inspector Gadget game on Super Nintendo. Yeah. So we're going to hear the Egypt theme from that. We're going to be hearing from Act 2 of Sandopolis Zone from Sonic and Knuckles. Another Bubsy 2-track, Dark Side of the Tomb. And the Pyramid theme from Strider as well. All right, Trademark, let's listen. Right on. The outro on that last track, like, oh, it just made me like think about the fact that like even within this theme that you've given yourself, there's still a lot of variety to work with. Like you've got your really hot boppy kind of stuff. You've got things where you can just like get a little bit more trance, a little bit more hypnotic, you know, like you can really do a lot. And I think
Yeah.
you've done a good job of exploring all of those different avenues as well.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And it sounded like you had some good help from some friends as well on some of those instruments that we just heard.
Yeah, that is Glenn Newport on the upright bass, Damian on drums, myself on accordion, and Wurlitzer, I think, some guitar. Oh, the second solo, which is on guitar. But most of all, Jacob Gleason played baritone sax, alto sax. He didn't have a tenor, did he? Do you remember?
I don't recall. I seem to remember a baritone and alto. Yeah.
Yeah, and also I'd forgotten a EWI, an EWI electronic wind instrument on the out chorus. It's the real high clarinetish, but it's a MIDI. I guess there is MIDI on the album, but no, he played it live. So yeah, that and some of the baritone sax is actually sped up. Remember singing along with the baritone sax? The part that goes
Vaguely.
da 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 da, and then you hear it in the song at the beginning. It goes
Yeah.
little
Right.
chipmunk voices. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'll try to see if I could find just that and put it in chat or something.
Right. You just kind of like took that recording and just did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I heard that was a regular antic, just playing with the speed and maybe the way that sounds are recreated for you, Xoc.
Yeah. Speaking of that guitar solo, I mean that's the solo from the game, which you hear a lot of the. I mean, like way over my ability.
Yeah.
So I learned it at half speed, and I just like the way things sound when they're sped up, or slowed down. That's harder to do because you have to play twice as fast or whatever it is. But yeah, I've never been ashamed to admit if it's too hard, I'll play it at a slower speed and fix it later.
Yeah. Production techniques. Well, I mean, the album doesn't sound like it's any worse off for it. Really, the performances all just kind of blend together, and it really works. It really ties it all together for sure.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I feel like there you could make 3 or 4 or more different bands out of the different sounds on this album.
Yeah, definitely.
I would love to do like a jazz band like that. It's that. I mean that. I was saying about John Zorn's Masada, which is jazz meets klezmer kind of thing. It just sounds like a Masada piece to me, and
even the original.
Right, yeah. So that was just like a no-brainer. I hate to use that phrase, but yeah. Yeah. So what do we got coming up?
What do we got coming up next?
Asterix.
Oh my God. Asterix. Yeah. We've got the Egypt theme from Asterix. I mean, that's great. Like I loved reading Asterix as a kid, and the Egypt. Yeah, that theme is just awesome. And that's actually in a track with the Tutankoopa theme from Paper Mario.
Yep.
And then we're going to be listening to a Mario deep cut with Mario's Time Machine, the Egypt theme from that game.
I think it's Egypt and another country, but we just don't worry.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's the same sound. We went with a sonic decision for that one, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, awesome. And then, of course, a little bit more Strider with the Mystery Train theme.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Well, in that case, why don't let's listen. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oops.
Wow, you really opened it up there for that Strider track. That was huge and powerful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But still had Miku on the lead.
Channeling baby metal all the way.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Question is, if you record a lead with Miku at half speed and then speed it up.
Oh, we've already heard that.
Oh, we have.
I'll point it out to you later.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was above the range of human hearing by then, or.
No, it's when you play it and then slow it down that it really
that
sounds. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I think that speaks to like what you've done with the dynamic and the flow of the album. It seems like you've been able to create lots of peaks and valleys in your dunes, so to speak.
Yeah, right. Way to tie it in there. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Well, I love sand. Sand gets everywhere.
Yeah.
I want it in all my crevasses. No, sorry, that's we're not having that discussion here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I want to know, have you heard of a band? They are American, but they're called Nile.
Yeah, I've heard of them. I haven't listened to them that much.
Okay. Well, if you're not a fan of like down-tuned death metal, then it's probably not your cup of tea. Just gonna save you the trouble there. But nevertheless, the guitarist in that band, Carl Sanders, he also does some stuff that's a little bit more akin to some of your other tracks here, where he explores those Egyptian tones and sounds and uses a lot of authentic instruments too. To create something that's like still pretty epic but not quite metal, and like some of the stuff that you've put together here reminds me a little bit about that.
I honestly didn't know that they were anything but just a metal band. I didn't know they stuck to the name. I'll check them out. I like all kinds of metal.
Definitely.
And he's got sand in his name. So
yeah,
gets everywhere.
He's everywhere, just riding the winds, getting in your teeth, getting in your eyes. Oh man.
Yeah, now it's in my name. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, we've just got a couple more chunkles to go. Let's see, what do we got coming down the pipe? We've got the Cairo theme from Cruisin' World. I'm expecting this to pick things up a little bit. That'll be lots of fun. We've got a Monster Party medley featuring the Round 4 Ruins theme, as well as the Guardian of the Giant Sphinx theme. And then we're going to hear some Bart versus the World. Right on. Well, in that case, why don't let's listen.
You froze.
TM. There we go. Wow, what an exciting way to end that track. Oh my god. And before we get too far into it, I just want to say thank you very much on Gaku Overdrive for rating us.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice to
welcome.
have you here. Welcome. Thank you. I understand that you guys have been having one of the Virtua Ongakus over there, so I hope that that went really well. Saw lots of really talented people on the lineup today and got to tune in a little bit. It seemed like a fun time. Really happy to have you here. Welcome to Bonus Stage. If you're new, we are hosting one of our Let's Listens, which is a album listening party. And today we are featuring Xoc, pictured just below me here, and his good friend Damian, who have or are soon to release their new album Xoc Like an Egyptian. You just heard the theme from Bart versus the World as portrayed by said good musicians here, among some others. Yeah, that overdub at the end there, that was pretty exciting. What was that all about?
That is, we're saying it's Bart versus the world. It's Bart versus the world. It's over. And like that is myself and Wienertron. Wiener in the chat.
Wieners
Wienertron.
in the chat. No, no.
My wiener is in the chat. All over the place. No, yeah, she sent me we each overdubbed our voices like 10 or 15 times. I don't know. So that big crowd at the end is just both of us. And who else was on that? Jacob Gleason did baritone sax, which sounds so good with the metal part, you know.
There's
I
something about that
love,
bottom end on those big saxophones.
especially just like, oh, here's the part. It's just a tritone. Like,
Yeah.
it just sounds so tough. I mean, and Damian here on violin and drums.
Indeed.
So,
I think
yeah.
more metal bands should have baritone sax, honestly.
Oh yeah,
Metal
I mean,
for it.
could
Even
listen
better.
to that all day.
There's the new lead instrument of the millennium. Yeah, we can say goodbye to guitars, everybody. We all want to hear that baritone sax. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's still like I'm still impressed with all the different sounds that you've implemented in these tracks. And Zoc, that has largely been you throughout the process, hasn't it?
Mostly, yeah. I, you know, I mean, I probably wouldn't have done it or finished it. You know, well, it sounds stupid if we hadn't started it, but those, you know, drum tracks is something I couldn't really. I just realized I couldn't do myself, but just having Damien's violin on top of it is, I mean, that just makes it for me. And all the other people that played. I didn't mention Alex Scammon on track 2. Did some bass clarinet whole notes, and
Did he make a bunch of noises for you as well?
I
Like some
believe that was
heavy
Jacob.
breathing? That was Jake. Okay.
Yeah, with the John Zorn sax squealy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wiggly. Exactly.
And yeah, so
Yeah,
Right.
doing that Simpsons track was a ton of fun. As a long Simpsons fan, I've always loved the theme and all the different things that they did with it over the years. So we got to do our own version, which was super cool.
yeah, and that's in the game. It's just the Simpsons theme, and then another voice playing Egyptian scales, you know, all the way through it, and it seems to fit, you know. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying not to get distracted by dong facts in the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've noticed all the, you know, we got Wiener in the chat, we got Dong.
We got dongs. Dongs are allowed as per Wiener mod. Oh my god.
Sleeveless. Yeah.
I did want to ask because, like I arranged stuff for like games that I haven't played as well, but like how many of the games, because there's a huge spread too, how many of these games have you actually played that you're covering the music from?
Let's see. Yeah, well, the ones I have never played, I'll have to admit to, Power Slave. I have not. I've heard the soundtrack, but I played a lot of Tubin in the arcade. That's for sure.
Classic.
Double Dragon, Battle Load Runner, a Turbo Graphics, I believe. I think it was on arcade too, maybe just in Japan, but I've never played that. But I heard the theme and it's so good. And that was like, I think, the last track to be added to the album. Eight Eyes is like Diet Castlevania. Mario Party 7 didn't do a lot of Mario Party, but I think most of everything else I've played. Well, not Mario's Time Machine, but
Nobody needs to play that game. You can just you just let that exist in the past where it belongs.
GoldenEye, though, I played a lot of that.
Oh boy, did we!
We played a lot of that. Yeah,
Grenade launchers in the stacks.
Oh man, proximity mines in the facility.
Oh,
rockets in the temple to the tune of Van Halen.
yep.
Yeah.
It's in the temple.
Speaking of, we've just got one more chunklet of music to hear on this album, and it is going to start with GoldenEye 007, the El Sagira temple theme. I'm not familiar with which level that is. That must be during the campaign.
It's one of the bonus levels.
Oh, okay.
It is the Live and Let Die reference. I can't remember how to say his name. The Baron. The white top hat and the voodoo guy from Live and Let Die. I don't know.
Not a Bond fan personally, but I did play the shit out of GoldenEye.
And after that is Adventure Island 2, which is going to feature Noah Nelson on lead guitar, somebody that's been in bands with Damian and I for years. He was a very late addition to the album. Like, I recorded his part a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Wow.
So 13 years and how many weeks, it's I was still working on it right up to the deadline. And then after that is something a little different.
Right.
But it features how do you is it Synosia?
Yeah, Synosia.
From the Cenobites.
Doja from the Cenobites, yeah.
Doja from Cenobites is does yeah, sorry. I had him do turntables, and it's just kind of old school scratch over something that's not from a game. It's from a game from a cartoon. It is Egyptian themed game, but yeah, it's a Squidbillies thing. But that ends it up, and so yeah, they're very different, these last three tracks.
Right on. All right. Well, let's see how it tops everything off. Folks, let's listen. What a way to finish it off with probably the deepest cut on the album. It's not a legit video game. It's a video game from the Squidbillies.
An Adult Swim cartoon, yeah.
Yeah.
Props to Sean Coleman for all of the music he does for that show, and it's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And to Doja, aka Sedoja, from Cenobites on the turntables. I could listen to that all day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
great.
kind of makes me want to,
It's almost like Walk Like an Egyptian, right? Yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, I guess I'll just have to learn how to Xoc as my main transportation now so that I can do that faithfully. And folks, if you want to be faithful to Xoc, you can also head on over to Bandcamp and get this album on pre-order so you can listen to it in your daily life. Yeah, that's set to release tomorrow. Maybe in the future it'll be released on an 8-track. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would not say no. If William the Bard has enough 8 tracks, yeah, we'll do a limited run.
Right on. Sounds exclusive. So you should definitely hit all of those follow buttons so that you get notified if that ever becomes a reality. You'll probably have to go and get an 8-track player as well. That sounds like fun. Well, this has been a lot of fun. That was a lot of obscure music we just listened to. I loved every minute of it. Are you in like rest mode now? You've finished this album after 13 years in the making, and you're just kind of sit, or you got another project that's coming up?
I have so many projects that I've been wanting to get to. Like I wanted to run a poll, see like what people would want to hear. Another full game soundtrack album, or I almost feel like I should move away from albums and just start putting out singles. I don't know. Yeah, there is so much I need to get to. It is, it's overwhelming, but now that this is finally off of the back burner, such a relief.
There you go. Alkaline 3MC is saying singles. Maybe after tackling such a huge project, it might be good to just do some one-offs, do something a little bit more bite-size. Until you got the gusto to tackle the next big one.
Yeah, and especially so it won't take another 13 years to yeah,
definitely. What about yourself, Damian? You got any exciting projects you're working on next?
Oh gosh, there's nothing on the horizon other than I'm working on my own solo weird electronic music solo project with heavy violin. Jason and I and our band Las Pesadillas are cooking up some kind of an EP or album, release date TBD. So that's kind of at the midway point. I don't know what notify button you can smash to hear about that one, but we'll send out the carrier pigeons once that's out of the world.
Yeah. So be sure to sign up for that. Make sure you keep your windows open.
Yes, Windows open all the time.
Otherwise, you might have a dead carrier pigeon on your porch. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Right on. Well, yeah, folks, I can't say it enough. Definitely go get that. Go get Xoc Like an Egyptian on pre-order over on Bandcamp. I've been Josh, your host. Thank you for tuning in for our Let's Listen today. Thank you, Jason, and thank you, Damian, for joining us here as well. Really nice to talk to you about this awesome album. Yeah, we're just going to put on some music and let things kind of filter out. So thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.
All
Bye-bye.
right.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
TM.